All right, we're live.
So I'm just going to sit here for the whole episode and look out my window as I eagerly await for the UPS truck to show up 8 hours from now with my Black Ops 3 copy.
Nice.
It's
Well, you know what's going to happen. He's going to come at the delivery window is what, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. He'll come
yeah.
at 7:56.
Yeah, typically.
Yep.
Isn't it Fallout 4 launch day too, or something like that? Or is
Is
that?
it? I don't care about Fallout.
I might actually. Oh, release day is November 10th for
Okay,
Fallout
so
4.
that's Tuesday.
I haven't decided. What'll happen with things like this is I'll at the last minute decide I need to play the game, and then I'll go to 15 stores and everyone will be like, "You should. Why didn't you pre-order it?" So
Yeah,
I don't want it unless I can't have it.
pretty much.
I don't think my vision's improving. I don't think so.
I don't think you're moving back away from the screen at all compared to when you started.
Yeah, we'll see. I'm going to probably play this experiment a little bit longer and then just give up. So I haven't been following it quite as well. I haven't been reading as much. But I've still been hitting about 30 minutes a day. So I don't know. We'll see.
Wasn't it supposed to be 4 hours though?
Yeah,
Well, I spend
like
a lot
12
of
hours
screen
a day.
but I mean, I've been reading
Oh, I
with
see.
plus glasses for half an hour on a day while I'm walking on the treadmill, and then I've been doing uh, just up to the screen, right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
With no lenses or the negative ones.
Nice.
But today is carb up day. I am eating
I
carbohydrates.
saw milk there.
Skim milk
Oh, okay.
because
All right.
I can't have any fat. But
You
Okay.
can't have any fat.
well, low fat,
Okay.
because now what's happening right now,
This
if
is
I
this diet is the worst of all. It's you
Seriously.
take the worst feature of every single diet ever created and mash them all together.
So yeah, I guess I should explain the diet because you guys saw my weight thing,
Yeah.
right? Okay, so just to give you an idea, this morning I weighed in at 208.
Mhm.
So
Okay.
so last week on Friday or on Thursday I was about 208.
Okay.
Then on Monday morning I was 223.
That would be
Okay.
after the carb up.
Yeah, that was after the carb. Now I did kind of a junk carb. I ate a bunch of sugar,
Yeah.
'cause I ate Halloween candy. So, but that was my first roll on it, and I could kind of get away with it on the first one. So I went from on Monday I was 223. On Friday I was 208. So I lost how many pounds is that? That's
No, you didn't
15
lose
pounds.
anything. You just you added food that didn't digest properly, and then it digested over a period of a week.
Well, close. So what happened was this. The ultimate diet works like this. This is the basic way that it works, and that'll explain why the weight happened. So what you do is for the first 4 days, you're eating at a calorie deficit of about 50% of your maintenance calories. So for me, that's 1,400, 1,500 calories, right? And you're eating low carb, 25 grams of carbs, almost no carb, right? Basically no carb. You're going to go into mild ketosis, right?
Mhm.
Okay, so during that time, you're also doing 2 workouts, full body workouts. On Monday and Tuesday, you're doing 12 sets per body part, about 15 reps, both of those days. So what that does is it completely eliminates glycogen from your muscles and your liver, because your liver stores about 200, 300 grams of glycogen, and your muscles will store somewhere between 5 to 800 grams.
Mhm.
So it's totally wiped out. Now, when your body stores glycogen in your muscles, it 1 part of glycogen, 3 parts water. So for every pound of glycogen, you would be storing 3 pounds of water. So when you do that carb depletion and you do the glycogen depletion over 4 days, and you're on low calories, you drop water like crazy, right? You drop all the glycogen from your muscles, you drop water. So then what happens is the next phase of the diet is the carb loading. So that's what I'm on now. So I did this last workout that is a final depletion workout, and it's called a tension workout. and then I primed the pump with a little bit of carbs right before this workout, and then I started eating carbs. And what's going to happen now is when I'm eating those carbohydrates, because my body has zero glycogen in it, it is going to, it basically, as soon as it gets carbohydrates, it's going to, yeah, exactly, suck right into the muscles all the glycogen and water that it can. And so you kind of get in this weird state. So like today, I'm actually going to be eating probably like 8,000 to 10,000 calories. So probably about 8,000 calories, and I'm still going to be burning fat while I'm eating 8,000 calories because my body will be a glycogen engine. So the fuel it'll use to actually like do stuff and to maintain my, when I'm working and doing stuff today will still be fat because your body switches over to a fat burning mode, a lipolysis mode, and when there's a dire glycogen depletion, all the calories, your liver goes into 100% glycogen production mode to refill that. So your body still burns fat while you're eating all these carbs, and then it super compensates. So by adjusting a little bit of creatine and because I was so low, I'll hit probably like 120% glycogen levels instead of 100%. So that's where all that weight is going to come from. And then tomorrow I'll be doing a power workout where I'll be doing like...
Tomorrow you're going to feel like crap and you're going to lay in bed all day going, why did I eat 8,000 calories?
No, tomorrow I'm going to feel super because I'm going to be pumped up. I'm going to
You're going to be bloated, not pumped up.
Well, if you do it right, you shouldn't get bloated. And I'm not just eating junk. Most of my diet, like last week I kind of ate junk, but most of my diet today, like I started with some sugars and stuff, but mostly I'll be eating today bagels, oatmeal, potatoes, and pasta and stuff like that. And so, so we'll see. But tomorrow is the power workout that is going to use all this. Now that you've got that glycogen, so you're going to be able to super, do lift real heavy, like three to 4 reps, extremely heavy. And then basically Saturday and Sunday is just kind of maintenance, just slightly below normal calories, and then Monday the cycle starts again. So I'm also doing an ephedrine caffeine stack while I'm on this one too. So
you're taking speed while you're doing a crazy diet.
Well, just for the 4 days of the cut, it increases your metabolism by about 5%. Yeah. So, but you got to go into like Walgreens and say, can I have some Broncaid? And they like check your ID. They're like, oh, you have asthma? Like, yes, asthma.
Yes, asthma.
Wow.
So that's what I've been
so
doing.
You're actually looking for your overall weight to go up, but your body fat to go down.
Yeah, so technically, this is one of those diets. I mean, this is extreme, right? Like, the diet is a pain in the ass. The workouts are like ridiculous because if you've ever tried to do like 12 sets on 0 carbs at 15 reps, like it's just it'll make you throw up. But the nice thing about this diet is you end up losing fat because in the first part of the diet and even up to the first day of the carb loading phase, and then you become highly anabolic because what you've done also, there's a whole bunch of things going on with your hormones, with leptin and ghrelin and insulin sensitivity. But essentially what you've also done at this point is you've made it so that you're extremely insulin sensitive because you've been on low carb, because you're glycogen depleted, because you've been at below maintenance calories, 50% for 4 days. The moment your body gets some sugar, it responds to the insulin release like very, very in a very extreme way. So that little bit of like all those carbs suddenly get absorbed right into the muscles. So it makes it so that you go into this super anabolic state. So for the next 2 days, I'll be packing on muscle at a very rapid rate. And so basically you can end up losing about 1 to 2 pounds of fat and gaining about 1/4 to 1/2 pound of muscle every week. So
I'll be very curious to see how this works out.
Yeah. And this isn't some bull crap I made up, right?
Yeah.
This is like Lyle McDonald. He's the body recomposition guy. So It's just you don't hear about the diet much because it's basically hell, right? It's like
Yeah.
even when you're carbing up, right? You're supposed to be avoiding the fats because you don't want to gain the fat. So it requires a lot of precision. So, but yeah,
Not for
so
mere mortals.
no, but I am getting ripped. I mean, I have a 4-pack now that's like the bottom abs are coming in.
I've
So,
totally got a keg, so
there you go. But yeah, I'm getting pretty lean. It's weird though. The body fat percentage on the scale is showing like 14%, and that's
Scales
like,
can't accurately measure body fat, though.
they can't, but it should be like in the ballpark. Like it should be going south because I mean,
Well, it's pretty much just 100% measuring water and conductivity, right? So
yeah,
who knows what this is doing? Probably the issue is that you're bouncing around so much that it never, like, if you were to stick with one, like if you're either like, doing high fat or high fat low carb, and your diet's more consistent,
yeah.
then those measurements will mean something. But the way that you're doing this, like,
Yeah.
Yeah, when I
I'm
was
not
doing
surprised it's whacked.
when I was doing the 80% fat, it was more consistent and it was dropping down to like 10, around percent.
Right.
So I'm just using the mirror to judge at this point because I can tell. Like I can look in the mirror and be like, yeah, okay, my 6-pack is coming in or it's not. So, and I have striations in the shoulders and stuff like that. So. Yeah, so that's how I'm judging it basically, and we'll see. But it's really interesting though. Like the 80% fat actually did work. It just didn't work as well as what I had anticipated. So so that's why I tried to. I wanted to do this Ultimate Diet 2.0 because I think it's scientifically like the most effective way to do it. Because the thing with the 80% fat diet, doing it for an extended period of time, is that you do end up changing the hormone levels. So your body is trying to hold on to fat, right? Because so this actually cycles through it. Basically, you're basically racing your hormone levels. So like it's like you outrun them, and they're trying to catch up, and then you're running the other direction, and so you keep it at optimal levels. But it's really funny. So you guys should listen to the last episode of Tim Ferriss's podcast.
No.
Okay.
He had this guy on there, this guy that's and this guy's some serious stuff, right? So he's like, just to give him some credibility, he went on a 5-day fast and then he deadlifted 500 pounds for 10 reps.
Wow.
So like the guy's like 230 and like I think like 6'2" or 6'3". So I mean he's like he's not just like a scientist, just talking bro science or whatever. But Tim was like asking him all these questions and stuff, and he basically comes down to, so what would be the optimal, essentially what would be the optimal diet? Like if you like everything about science and stuff, what would you do? And the guy basically, I kid you not, I was like flipping out when he said this. He's like, well, I would do probably an 80% fat diet, and then I can't really do it, but I guess it'd probably be optimal if you fasted all day and ate one meal a day. And I was like, whoa.
Nice.
So yeah, so that's that's interesting. But there's a whole bunch of interesting effects. Like it was a really good episode because he talks about cancer prevention and how the ketogenic diet and fasting for periods of time like causes what's it called? I forget what the technical term for cell death is, but essentially cancer cells can't metabolize ketones.
Mm.
So their mitochondria is sort of broken, right? So they need glucose. So you essentially starve out and kill cancer cells. So like he was basically saying like if everyone goes on like a several-day fast like a couple of times a year, they could probably kill cancer cells that are, because we all have cancer cells in our bodies. It's just a matter of time before we get cancer and die. But
yeah,
that's my thought for the day. It's a matter of time before you get cancer and die.
There's
just
a high correlation between living and getting cancer. So
yeah, just a matter of whether something else gets you first.
Right.
So that's that's the Get Up and Code portion of this podcast.
Nice. That's pretty cool. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Because I don't think, like, just since I've talked to you, I've been sort of really interested in the hormonal, like, side of the whole fat loss thing is really interesting to me. But I haven't really heard you talk much about that, so it was pretty cool to hear you playing with it.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing that gets you stuck, right? It's like, I mean, I've always been able to keep. I mean, since you guys have known me, I've been probably around like 10 to 12% body fat most of the time, right?
Mhm.
But I have not gotten much below that, and a lot of it has to do with hormones, just because like you can have your diet dialed in, but if you don't do some kind of carb cycling or something then your body does not want to die. So in order to drop that extra fat, you have to really like do some extreme stuff. So, but it's interesting. I'm learning. I'm figuring this out now. Like I've got multiple things that seem to work. So
That's pretty cool. Topic shift.
Awkward silence. So in other news, I hit my new high water mark of 427 active subscribers on Watch Me Go.
Nice.
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 I'm down to 426 at the moment, but that's actually back up from 424 2 days ago. So
Nice.
yeah, and the crazy thing is these are all like full price subscribers. These are not people coming in with any kind of discount.
Yeah.
So
That's fantastic.
yeah,
I think you've hit. It seems like you've hit the inflection point here.
Yep.
If you keep
Possibly.
doing what you're doing, I think you're gonna see. Now, the one thing is we'll have to see if you get a big drop off in a month or two
right.
from the discount that you did.
Which we
'Cause you
know
had
that.
big.
Yeah.
That's probably gonna happen.
Historically, yeah.
Yeah.
But you
I,
still,
I would expect the $5 a month people from my birthday to stick around for a lot longer, but the $9 a month ones, they'll probably be around for 3 or 4 months, maybe 5 or 6. But yeah, they're gonna start dropping in the next couple of months.
I have a really quick technical question. Technical meaning Mac OS for you guys.
Okay.
I was messing with my volume, or I was alt clicking to set my. Well, let me check this. I can't lower the volume, and you guys are blasting my ears out.
You can't lower the volume.
No, it is locked. Yeah, it's locked.
Wow.
The icon is grayed out on my Mac. And
Open sound preferences
I
directly.
am looking at them now, and it's not letting me move the slider.
Select a different output and change it back.
Selected sound output device.
Change it to internal speakers and then change it back.
Still not letting me.
Reboot.
I can't do that while I'm talking to you guys. But yeah, I'll have to.
we're
that's
not
weird.
coming. There's a sound mixer here, but then I'll screw up the podcast.
Yeah, I can probably. I'll try to lower the volume here on my.
Just
No, it
reboot it.
doesn't-
Won't take you more than a minute.
Use the keyboard volume lower. Does that work?
No, it brings up a little. It brings up a little. Cancel and
Anti.
a little.
No.
The little. It brings up the stupid overlay with the
Mhm.
volume thing, and then it has just a cancel symbol. Like you can't do this.
Oh, I
Sorry.
see.
Yeah, I don't know. All right, so sorry. Derek,
Yes.
you were,
What was I saying?
I
Right.
don't
So
know.
yeah, I expect to start losing some people from that massive influx, but so far, I mean, I'm still losing a fair number of people, but I've gained a significant number of people in this month. I've had in 6 days, I've had 8 people sign up, which is the previous month. My average. Let me look. Last month, so for all of October, I had 26 people sign up, which is less than one a day, and right now I'm getting more than one a day average,
Nice.
Wow.
which is pretty nice.
Your stickiness factor should increase as your library gets larger as well. Because if
Yeah.
you think about it, the drop off when someone's watched all your videos, they're all the ones they're interested in, and
Mhm.
if they feel like you're not producing ones that they want, then they're likely to drop. But the deeper your library is, the more stuff there is for people. So the more
And I think
value.
having the series page on the site is
Yeah.
a huge part of that. that stickiness that you're talking about, because people click on that series page and they're like, oh wow, there's 11 different series, 11 different series up here right now, and there's a few more that I need to go back and add that I have in the videos. I just need to get them posted as a series on here. And so it's really easy to stick around because oh, when I'm done with this one, I can go watch that one, and then this one, and so I think that's helping a lot. That series page is now my most popular single page on the entire site, other than the home page.
Nice. Are you using Mixpanel on your site? Because actually, your site would actually be really good for Mixpanel.
Yeah, I am, but I'm not using it very well. I need to go in and actually set it up properly. I had it set up a long time ago when Momoko was helping me with stuff, and I still have the Mixpanel account and everything, and it's sending data there, but I've never really paid attention to it, so I don't know if my funnels are set up correctly or anything like that.
The nice thing about Mixpanel is once the data's in there, it's not like with Google Analytics, if you don't get it set up right, it doesn't capture the data. But with Mixpanel, it does a pretty good job of capturing the data for you, and so you can go back and retroactively create the funnels and see what's going on.
It's funny though. I was like, this week I've definitely been having the debate between Mixpanel or Google Analytics or something else, or like, and after, Mixpanel is like easier. It's like there's definitely advantages, but as I keep on going back and forth, now I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm like, gosh, just bite the bullet and learn, like, master Google Analytics, because it's the most powerful thing. Like, you can do anything with it. It's just so friggin' complicated.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's where I'm kind of landing now. Like, the thing that stopped me, I was going to implement Mixpanel on the funnel, but in order to track email, to use a tracking pixel in Mixpanel, you have to convert like some data, some JSON data, into a hex encoded, base 64 encoded delivery. What do you call it? Like a payload. So you can't do that in an email. Like, so not to sidetrack it, but yeah.
Totally sidetracked it.
Yeah. Totally. It's all good. No, I like Google Analytics and Mixpanel for different things. Yeah. I mean, I like the general page views and stats like that on Google Analytics. And they have a whole bunch of new features and stuff that you can pay for, get extra things in Google Analytics. But I don't. It's so dang complicated. I don't want to learn it. I would rather deal with the limitations of another tool that makes it easier to do what I want, like Mixpanel does.
There is a couple other things, though, that I was considering with it, too. Like, one of the things, in fact, one of the things that pushed me towards being sure that I'm going to just master Google Analytics was that I was thinking about this. Like, I overanalyze the hell out of, like, these stupid decisions, but but I was like, oh, AdWords, right? It's like, if you start using AdWords, like Google Analytics and AdWords go together, right? They integrate essentially like they're one thing, as well as, I mean, AdSense isn't as big of a deal, but the remarketing from Google, there's like a bunch of different pieces that connect in, even the Google Site Manager, or I forget what they're calling it now, the webmaster tools essentially, and demographics stuff. So there's like, so there's some incentive there too, because I was like, well, if I ever do use AdWords, then like I want to have this and be able to. I just wish I'm sure there is some kind of really good Google Analytics training. I just need to find it and then utilize it.
Yeah. So. There are thousands of Google Analytics courses out there, which in and of itself tells you just how damn complicated it is. This is such a difficult product to master that you will need to buy hundreds of courses from different people just to get different perspectives and different points of view. Yeah. So
but Google Analytics is every bit as much a specialty as like AdWords or
it is.
Facebook. Yeah. I mean, like there are people that's their entire job.
Does Perry Marshall have a 80/20 Google Analytics yet?
No, they have. I think they have an. I do think they have an AdWords or a analytics course, but
okay,
they're one of the people that do.
But but the thing is, I guess you got to view Google Analytics. At least this is what I'm looking at now. Is more of a like a programming language rather than a tool. Because like you could say the same thing about JavaScript or C#. You could be like, there's so much, it's like, but if you're viewing it as a tool, you'd be like, this is stupid. Why would I learn all of this stuff? Like,
Yeah.
But if you view Google Analytics more like a programming language, like at like as building blocks level, then it's like if you master that, you can do anything you want, right? There's nothing that you couldn't do. Whereas any other tool that simplifies things, you're sort of limited. Like you can do what the tool lets you do, but with Google Analytics, like there's literally nothing that you can't track. Like you could do anything you can envision, as far as I understand, you could essentially do with it. So that's one advantage. It's also probably never going away. So
right.
I don't know. We'll see. I did some pretty awesome Google foo with Google Analytics yesterday, though, because I have a funnel set up in Google Analytics with the funnel tracking, where I can track from email open to sales page visit to add to cart to bought product, and see the funnel all the way through. So I figured out how to embed a tracking pixel into emails in Drip that will show up in the funnel in Google Analytics. So
yeah, that's pretty sweet. I can't wait to see how well that works.
Yeah.
How are we going to test that, by the way? Are you thinking just send a test email from Drip and then walk through the process, like pay for your product and?
Yeah, I think that's probably it. I can switch DPD over to the test account.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think how does that work? If you switch it over to the test API, then it'll just like let you put in any credit card number, and then it'll.
I think there's a specific credit card number you have to put in. I could be wrong.
That makes sense. Otherwise, people would just be able to like steal your stuff.
Yeah.
So okay, so I think that would probably be the best way, so we can test it end to end from the email. There is a slight lag I've noticed in the funnel tracking in Google Analytics and the e-commerce bit as well. So.
Yep. Yeah. Generally, conversion tracking is that way on all platforms. I've noticed it's like there's a little. It's anywhere from an hour. Like Google AdWords, it could be 6 hours or more before your conversions show up. So
maybe today or tomorrow, depending on where we are, we can set that up, and then we can have it like a day to see it the next day, or within a few hours. But yeah, I think that's the best way to test that all the way through and see if that works. But it should work as far as I can tell. So
where I've always gotten frustrated before is like at the testing point where like I think I'll have it set up. This is where I was with DPD. Like I thought I had everything set up right, and then you kind of like you either test it or you just kind of wait for somebody to buy your product, and then nothing happens. It's like, okay, awesome.
Here's what you do. So here's how I did it. Was I opened up the real-time analytics, and then I hit the pages and saw myself on there. Right. So then I know that the tracking is working at every step, and then it's just a matter of do the steps work together. So that's a
good point.
The e-commerce also integration, DPD has e-commerce integration, and I turned that on and that works. So it will show you like how much money you made, right?
That's cool.
So
yeah, they supposedly had that before, and I wasn't able to get it working.
But yeah, no, I've got that piece going. So
cool. I think I'd like you to walk me through that entire thing.
Okay.
That might be a good
record.
Yeah, like do a little screencast that we could even share that. But yeah, it would be nice to see how you've got that working end to end.
Yeah. I don't think many people have funnels that start at the email open. So, but again, that's where also I'm thinking like in the next couple of weeks I'm going to sign up for the trial of ClickFunnels, and I'm going to see if you use ClickFunnels, would you just have all of this automatically and tracked 100% through the funnel? And I have a feeling that you would. And so, I don't know. If that's the case, then it really might be worth paying the $100 a month for that.
Yeah, I agree. I don't know. I don't think that you're going to have all that, honestly.
Yeah, well,
So,
I guess we'll see.
I think they'll get there maybe eventually, but I think the big missing piece is going to be the email. I'm guessing their email right now is probably just designed to deliver a course after you buy, and that it's going to be pretty weak sauce other than that.
Because I noticed they have some, like, I think it depends on the funnel, because they have templates for funnel for like an email for a webinar.
Right.
And I think like the first step is like the lead magnet page, and then there's like a confirmation page and the thank you, right? But then I think there's an email sequence that's part of the funnel where it sends you the first email, like the second email.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the final one with the link to the thing. So I think they probably have at least somewhat decent email. I mean, I guess that's the same as maybe delivering a course, but
yeah.
But maybe you can just like use that for your courses and then have another list that you use for your broadcasting that use like a Zap or something to import the people, or I don't know, maybe there's some integration you could do.
Yeah, I don't know. We've kind of done that stuff with the MailChimp stuff before we all got onto Drip. Yeah. So
yeah, I was disappointed to find that Mixpanel isn't on Zapier. Drip is, but Mixpanel.
That seems like a natural.
Yeah, because that was the other thing. I was like, oh well, I can just use if I can use Drip, because there's a Drip Zapier integration point where you can detect an email open, right? There's a lot, like all the events and custom events. So you could essentially do that. Google Analytics is also not in Zapier either. It will be. It's on their list, but then you could like do that very easily. So.
Yeah, actually, I'm using Zapier to do for my so I'm going to be doing a giveaway this week, coming up, for Thrive Themes, the WordPress plugin, which I've been loving. I signed up for it last weekend, and so what I did, King Sumo Giveaways does not support Drip yet. So what I did, and I want to get people into Drip immediately.
Yeah.
I want them to start getting my daily emails while my contest is still going on. So what I decided to do is, because that way, otherwise I let the contest run for a month, and then people start getting daily emails from me. No, yeah, that wouldn't go over too well.
No.
So
You got a Zap.
So what I did, I actually hooked it up. I hooked my King Sumo up to MailChimp.
Mm-hmm.
So people go into MailChimp.
Yeah.
And then as soon as they get added to MailChimp, the Zap will run and pull them into Drip, and puts them onto like just a one email campaign that tells them like, hey, thanks for entering, and here's what's going to happen, type of thing. And then they get into my daily emails after that.
Mm-hmm.
So,
yep. I've got that exact same Zap running from MailChimp to Drip.
Yeah,
because I did
currently my MailChimp account is paused actually, so I'm gonna see.
Yeah, mine is too.
Okay, all right, so that
I just collect people and they go to Drip.
Okay, nice. Yep.
Yeah. It's a good thing MailChimp doesn't listen to this podcast.
Seriously.
Although maybe they do, because
they might. Yeah.
Like,
They keep adding features that we used to complain about.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. They haven't gotten rid of the monkey, the happy monkey, telling you they're gonna all be kicking back.
She is ridiculously intense,
Wow.
and holy crap, she is entertaining.
Wow.
I highly recommend anybody that is interested in how to grow a YouTube presence, including you, John.
Yeah.
Go watch this video, Graveyard Girl Baking My Face. It is incredibly entertaining, and I don't give a crap about makeup. I don't like makeup for nearly anything other than dressing up in costumes and stuff. I don't care about makeup. But this video is just incredibly entertaining. It was like laughing my head off watching this video about her baking
she's like
her
the
face.
Gary Vaynerchuk of makeup.
Yeah, except she's not completely, totally. Well, I'll stop there.
She looks a little bit like a meth addict, but
But I love this video. It's ridiculously entertaining, and skincare. Sorry, tangents.
all right.
Well, this one video has like 1.1 million views, and it's not that old either. October 23rd, and she has 1.1 million views. That's like 2 weeks ago.
She's got like 5.9 million subscribers.
Yeah.
So here's the general rule of thumb, right? Because I know this from my own numbers. Every 10,000 subscribers you have, you make about $200 a month.
Yeah.
She makes a lot of money.
She makes a lot of money. And she's hilarious too.
Yeah. So like 10,000. Okay. So 100,000 is 2,000. So 1 million is like 20,000. So she's making like over $100,000 a month on YouTube.
Nice.
Just from ads.
Yep.
She's probably selling something too, but she is, yes. So she's doing well. Yep. Josh disappeared too.
Josh left. Oh, I guess it's just us. Let's talk more about makeup. So I'm getting myself ready for November. By the time this episode comes out, it'll be like just a couple days away.
Nice.
I've got 39 slides. It's a 30-minute talk, so it's just under a minute per slide, which is no big deal. Several of my slides are going to go fast and then slow down a little bit. But I've hand drawn 35 out of 39 slides, and I still have 3 slides that are blank at this point that I need to fill in for my wrapping it up together. But I think it's going to turn out to be a really good talk, not because of the technical content, because there's almost no technical content in this. It's all theory and all ideas and all evidence to push you forward. And I'm really excited about this, for one, because I finally have the talk written, which is nice, but I realized in writing this talk that I don't like giving technical talks at conferences anymore. That used to be what I do all the time, but I don't like doing that anymore because I'm constantly doing that on Watch Me Code.
Yeah.
And literally last year when I was at November, my talk last year at November was just a repackaging of screencasts that I had already done on Watch Me Code.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of defeating a lot of purposes and a lot of points that I was a lot of reason for doing the screencasts.
Well, and you're also giving away your content for free.
Exactly.
Well, so that's okay. That part, I think.
Yeah, I mean that's fine.
Because people will still come to you, but
right.
But no one ever cries at the end of like a technical talk, and it's like, man, that just changed my life.
Yeah, seriously.
Awesome. But like, you can inspire people with a non-technical talk, right?
Right,
They're,
but so
excited.
It's a non-technical talk about a technical subject. It's all about messaging and software architecture, but I'm approaching it from the perspective of human communication and human understanding and the way we think and the way we talk and the way we communicate with other people, going all the way back in history to like smoke signals. And so I've got all these crazy hand-drawn stick figure slides and everything in there. And I realized at the end of this, at the end of writing this talk, that this is kind of perfect in a number of ways because it pushes me as a speaker more toward the grounds of keynote speaking, because most keynote topics are not get your hands dirty, but they are centered around a technical subject while dealing more with the human side of things and inspiring people. Yeah. So this is very much pushing me in that direction. But on top of that, it's a perfect sales pitch for my RabbitMQ for Developers bundle. Because the whole thing is why you want to use messaging.
Yeah, now you're talking.
And my full package is how to do the messaging inside of RabbitMQ with Node.js. And this is the November conference, the perfect target audience for that package.
Yeah,
nice.
So I've got this, the very last slide, which I usually have the big about me with all of my websites listed.
Yeah.
I completely ripped apart that slide. I have DerekBailey.com at the top with my picture, and then the main only center content is just an ad for 20% off of the RabbitMQ bundle.
Nice. This is what, so Ben Settle has this term he calls hard teaching versus soft teaching.
Right.
And hard teaching is the detailed how to, and when you're doing info products, he says you should stick to keeping that stuff inside your paywall. Like,
Yeah,
you should be
yeah.
charging for that.
Right.
And then soft teaching is where you tell people what to do but not how.
Right.
Yep.
And that's exactly what you're doing here. It's really effective because it whets people's it's valuable, but it also whets people's appetite
Right.
without spoiling their appetite.
And yeah.
And this is going to be an incredibly valuable talk. I think it's really I'm intending this to help people understand how to improve their architecture and how to move their own development efforts forward, so that we can, do better with supporting mobile devices and long-running processes and faster responses and with web requests and all those other kinds of things. So there's a lot of good value in here just from the talk itself. But if it's going to be the perfect pitch to the how with that RabbitMQ for Developers bundle.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, I'm really excited about this. I've been pulling my hair out stressing about this for the last couple of months. I actually started writing this talk over a month ago. And every time I sat down, I would sit at my desk for like an hour at a time, just going and not being able to get anywhere. And over the course of the last month and thinking about this talk and trying to think through what I want to say and what I'm going to say and how to say it and all that, and it was a very slow, not at all deliberate transition, moving from I want this to be a very technical talk with a lot of code into no, this is going to be even better because this is all about the human side of messaging and architecture, and it's going to be a million times better. And I'm far more excited about this talk now than I was when I submitted the abstract for it and got it picked. And on top of that, I was far more inspired to actually sit down and write the talk and create all of the illustrations that I need for this as well. It's once I realized that I was heading down this path of the human side of things, the images just like, oh, I need to draw this, I need to draw this, I need to draw this, and it was done in a matter of days.
It's interesting too. Like as I've started to realize that people really shouldn't do technical talks because there's no point in there's no advantage to being at a conference watching someone teach you how to code something, right? Or use some technology, because you can just like watch it offline or read about. I mean, there's like learning the thing is not the technical implementation of the thing. Unless you're showing a technology, you're like, look at this cool thing you can do, and you're briefly going through just like introducing something new that they haven't seen. But I think too many people do technical talks.
I went to at the Space City JS conference earlier this year. There was a talk on ClojureScript, and it was a very technical talk. But he was doing like you just said. The presenter had all of this code, and he wanted you to look at the code. But the point of it was not looking at the code. The point of it was, the comparison of how difficult it would have been in JavaScript to how easy it was in ClojureScript.
Right.
It was a brilliant technical talk, but not require me to actually learn.
Eric froze, didn't he?
Yeah. He's like frozen in time.
He's frozen in mid-gesture too. It's it's actually pretty funny. He'll probably disappear on us here.
His Mac must have frozen. It must be like
Oh my gosh. So I was looking at the Surface Book a little bit.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna switch at this point, at least not for a while. But
next generation.
It was I might have to see. Yeah, exactly. The one thing that kind of killed it for me was the battery life on the tablet. So
if you disconnect
such a light tablet that you only get 3 hours of battery life as a tablet. It's weird. They actually flipped. Like it used to be on the old Surface, it was like you'd get more use out of it as a. Wait, no, that's not right, because it was always a tablet. Never mind. But yeah, it was kind of disappointing. But you could get like they were saying 12 to 14 hours.
Yeah, but
battery life with the laptop.
Are you ever going to use it as just a tablet, like without? You might as well bring the keyboard and flip it behind it, like.
Well, I think for watching movies, I would.
I guess so. Yeah.
And like that would be the one thing that I'd actually want to use it as a tablet. and it would be it would probably kill the battery even faster. Like that's you couldn't really even get through a long movie. You know, like you couldn't watch Lord of the Rings on it without having to find a charging port.
The internet hiccuped there. What did I miss?
Yeah, we were just filling time while you were gone,
okay.
So
But
I
yeah,
was talking about the Surface Book.
Right. I've been hearing a lot of good things about that. But I was pretty much done with my little rant on technical complexity.
The Engadget review was like shockingly positive.
Yeah.
Oh, I got an iPhone 6S, and it's gold.
Are you serious? You bought the gold one?
I had to buy the gold one.
You didn't buy the rose gold? Why?
Because that's all they had.
Oh, okay.
Because nobody wants that crap.
But, okay, class action lawsuit coming.
Really?
This is like ridiculous crap. Like this kind of stuff pisses me off. So I was like, I went into Target and I was like, oh, do you have an iPhone, 64 gig, 6S Plus? I'm like, oh yeah, we've got one. And so I was like, okay, can I buy it? And she's like, well, what carrier do you want? I was like, no, I just want to buy it. I'm going to pay cash for it. Mm-hmm. And she's like, oh, well, you got to pick a carrier. I was like, well, I have T-Mobile. She's like, oh, well, we don't support T-Mobile. I was like, well, I have a SIM card. Like, just sell me the damn phone, right? And she's like, oh, we can't sell it without activating a line. And I'm like, what? Are you serious? Like, how there's like this is like price fixing. Like this is not I don't know which like antitrust violation you're committing here, but it's one of them. Like this is like somewhere this equates to price fixing, right? Mm-hmm. It's like or like you're essentially bundling a service with this and not letting me buy. So like she went to her manager. One level manager was like, "Yeah, just let him buy the damn thing." And then she goes to the regional manager, and they're like, "No, we have to save it for customers for Target who want to buy the service." And so I was like, she's like, "Well, more are going to come in, and then I could probably convince my manager." And I was like, "You know what? Screw it. Like, I'm just not like I'm not going to beg to get an iPhone to buy a $900 device from you." I was like, "I'm just never going to buy electronics from Target again." So. I realize it's not your fault, but screw Target.
Yeah.
So, and I walked out, and then I go to Best Buy, and I'm like, oh, do you have an iPhone 6S, 64? Like, oh yeah, we got a bunch of them. I was like, okay, can I buy one? And they're like, which carrier? And I was like, T-Mobile? And they're like, no, we don't have T-Mobile. So I was like, okay, I'll just buy it outright. I have a SIM card. So, oh, you got a SIM card? Yeah, we can't sell it to you. I'm like, are you serious? And I had the same kind of discussion with him. I was like, you realize that this is like again, I don't know maybe some lawyer will watch us. If there's a lawyer watching our show and they'd like someone to be like the complainant, the class action lawsuit, I'm totally on board with it because this is the plaintiff, complainant.
I'll complain. I complain all the time.
Because that's total bullshit. Like, how could you do that? So finally, I went to T-Mobile store and bought it, but and they only had gold. So I was like, well, I guess I'll just have bling iPhone.
So when I bought mine, the AT&T store actually seemed like they were willing to sell me the unlock, or not the unlock, but they were willing to sell me the phone without activating it. But then I would have had to wait a couple days to get it unlocked. It was going to be a hassle, so they were like, dude, just go to the Apple store. They're actually all unlocked.
Yeah.
The AT&T one that you can just buy the AT&T one there, and it's unlocked. So that's what I did.
The reason why it's total bullcrap is because if you think about it, what they're doing is they're squeezing T-Mobile out of the picture. Like that's like it's totally wrong because what I mean, like they're totally like steering. I guess it's steering. I'm using lawyering terms. I'm complainter and
complainter and steering. Yes.
Yeah. So but it's steering.
I was steering my complainter down the lake the other day and.
But yeah, it's total crap because it's like you're forcing them in that direction.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Actually, if you bought it online from Apple, they would force you to choose a carrier as well.
But see,
I'm sure they had.
Just go into the Verizon store.
And steal a friggin' iPhone.
And ask Verizon, hey, I want to buy this outright. Are you on Verizon? No.
So I think Apple's in on this. I think
totally.
Apple has some backroom deal, and I'll tell you why. Because what you said, go on to Apple's site, right? You can actually buy an Apple site, and you can choose T-Mobile, or you can choose no SIM card, right? So you can do that. In fact, they've changed it because when I first went on there, it didn't have that option. It just had T-Mobile. Now they have a no SIM card.
Yeah, the no SIM card. So they only release, for some reason, Apple does not release the unlocked version of the phone for like a month or two.
Oh, okay.
So they want to force people to go through carriers.
Yeah, see
because Apple gets subsidies from the carriers.
Yeah, and that's the bullcrap because I went on there and then it's like it will ship in 3 weeks. I'm like, what? Every store has these in stock now. Mm-hmm. You're telling me it's going to ship in 3 weeks? That's bullshit. What they're doing is they're trying to discourage you from buying it there so that you go and buy it with a carrier bundle. It's like this is total backroom dealings, corruption, BS. Like, really, really ticks me off. Like, I just want to buy a dang iPhone. Like, if you're going to spend $900 on a device that's not subsidized, then don't screw with me. Like, you know? So that's my Apple rant for today. But it is much faster. The 6S is much faster than the 6, and the camera is much better. I wanted it really for the camera and for the LTE. The LTE expanded coverage is supposed to be better. It's not. It's still crap. T-Mobile is crap, like coverage-wise. So
I was thinking about experimenting with T-Mobile, and I was like, no, I'm just not. Because when I tried it before, when I tried it before around here, I was using my AT&T Windows phone on T-Mobile, and I couldn't even get signal in my basement. It was that bad.
Yeah.
So I was like, I don't think it's going to be that much better. And I'm glad I stuck with. I'm with Cricket. I'm still pretty happy.
But doesn't Cricket? Oh, Cricket uses Verizon CDMA.
No, they use AT&T.
Oh, okay.
AT&T network, which is in my experience around here, that is rock solid.
Right,
I like it.
Yeah, that's the CDMA technology, so it has longer range than the.
No, they're not CDMA. They're GSM.
AT&T,
okay.
Yeah.
Sprint and Verizon, I think, are the only ones, the bigger ones that are CDMA.
And they're phasing that out.
Oh, okay.
But they're still on it, but they're phasing it out.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm not. I mean, it's all right. Like the T-Mobile, like the deal I'm getting is just ridiculous because it's like 2 lines with unlimited data for like $100. So for that price,
if you can get a connection, it's awesome.
Yes.
I'm actually. So I saw that Apple is potentially releasing an iPhone 5 sized version of with the 4-inch size, and I'm actually considering.
Really?
Yeah, I'm gonna seriously consider going back to that size. Only reason I upgraded was because I wanted the new camera.
Mm-hmm.
I like the old size better, so I might go back to that.
So you don't even have the Plus. You've got an.
Yeah, I've got the 5-inch, and I just feel like
you want to go smaller than that.
Yeah.
You want like a Zoolander phone. You want like.
Yes, totally. The tiny little thing you hold up to.
It's just not very comfortable. It's just not comfortable for me to hold and use.
I've got large-ish hands. I'm 6'1". I've got big hands. I don't want a phone more than 5 inches. My current phone, it's 2-year-old Android Droid Mini. It's 4.8 inches, and that's like, okay, this is good. I don't really want anything bigger than this. This fits my pockets. It fits my hand. It fits. I can sweep my thumb across the entire screen, and I don't have to use a second hand.
Yeah. I mean, Apple's solution. Have you seen this, Derek? Where if you the way that they deal with it, so the screen's too big. So Steve Jobs was really big on 4 inches because your whole hand can reach everywhere on the screen, and everything on Apple on the iPhone is in the 2 upper corners, which are completely unreachable.
No, but they have a hack for it.
Yeah, you double tap the home button, and it shifts the entire screen down.
So you can reach it. Yeah.
50%. So there's this big black box across the top of your phone. It is the most amazing, lamest hack ever, and
that's just stupid.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at upgrading my phone because this is 2 years old and kind of junk at this point. But the smallest I can find in a reasonable Android phone, which basically means Motorola because all the other brands are garbage. the smallest I can find is either another Droid Mini or something in the 5.4 inch, which is it doesn't sound much bigger, but when you look at the thing, it's significant.
Yeah.
I would just want an iPad mini phone. That's what I want. The 6S Plus is almost that, but it's like it doesn't play iPad.
No,
apps
a
on it.
number of years ago, I met a guy. I was at some event at a bar, some social media hangout thing. He had a Dell 7-inch tablet that was his phone. It was
Yeah, that's fine.
This is a 7-inch Kindle that I'm holding up right here.
Right.
And he was holding this thing up to his face to talk into it. I mean, it's the most ridiculous looking thing I've
Well,
ever seen.
what do we even need phones for anymore? Really? When's the last time you called someone? Like, I mean,
This morning?
well, I text people or I send them emails.
Yes.
Like,
Yesterday?
there's
No,
no need to call.
call-
Like, you call the electric company, right, or whatever.
I use
but
my phone to call people all the time. I'm still old school like that.
yeah, but okay, I'm not saying not talking to people. I mean, you could just use Skype or like Google Voice or Google Hangouts. Like, there's no like just talking over the wire technology just doesn't make sense to me. Like, I don't know. Like, let's just carry around a tablet that if we need to talk to someone, we can just talk to someone. And then a watch. Like, let's get rid of the phone. Let's just have a watch and a tablet.
I don't
If you
want
need
to
talk
watch.
to someone.
I have a phone. I don't need a watch.
I don't know. A phone, all I'm saying is like 95% of the function of a smartphone is not to make cell calls.
True.
That is true.
So
Yeah.
why is it a phone? It doesn't make any sense.
One of my bosses a number of years ago was telling me about how his kids would always sit in the back of the car texting whoever whenever they were driving somewhere. And he looked back there one day and said something like, you know, I heard they're coming up with this new feature for phones that lets you actually type in a phone number and then talk to the person. His daughter got all excited, like, really? Wait a minute.
Nice.
Awkward silence.
Oh, so I
That
got
was abrupt.
Yes.
design. I finally used 99 Designs, and that worked out pretty well. I think I got some ads created for my perfect audience.
Okay.
I paid like $200 to get 2 sets of banner ads. So, but
So I've been meaning to tell you, don't ever do that again.
because the crappy hand-drawn ones work better.
No. Because the thing with the thing when you dig into Facebook and I think this is true on Twitter as well.
Images of people.
The image is the headline
Mm-hmm.
of the ad on
Wait a
Facebook.
minute.
Right.
The image is the headline of the ad. What do you mean?
Yes, effectively. So when you have a
Oh, I
sales
see,
page,
yeah.
when you have a sales page, 80% of the effectiveness of the sales page, can come from the headline. With Facebook ads, 80% of the effectiveness of the ad is the image. So if you can't afford, you're going to need to experiment with so many different images that
I
you
see.
can't afford to pay people a lot of money to make them. That's
And
the thing.
frankly,
So-
the things that you forwarded to us in the email list, I thought they were terrible.
Well, I thought there were some good ones in there.
I honestly, I didn't like any of them.
Yeah.
but it doesn't.
I liked certain elements from some of them, but
Yeah.
none of them as a whole really made me want to buy what you were selling.
It doesn't really, yeah. It doesn't really matter either. That's the thing. Like, you can't with Facebook ads. There's like just you can you'll get a feel for it over time, but there's just really no hard and fast rules
Yeah.
I see.
as far as what works.
So it might just be throwing up stock images on there and then the text from the
Pay me
not
$10
product
for a stick
shots.
figure every time you need one, and
Pay attention. Like, spend some time on Facebook actually looking at the ads and like try to go to like some sites like digitalmarketer.com and try to
so
get
they're
retargeted.
Yeah.
Yes, you get retargeted by some of the good Facebook people. And
Yeah,
see what they're doing.
see
And a
what
lot
they're
of times it's stuff like a picture of a still shot of the guy in front of a whiteboard with with like a cheat sheet type of image next to him or something.
I see, because
Like-
it like intrigues you.
Yeah, they don't have to be like. I just don't think that you're going to get a lot of traction with the product type shots.
My recommendation would be a very crappily pixelated outline of somebody dancing.
Okay.
What?
Like the old weather.com ads.
Yeah. Or Obama says you need to refinance your loan.
Exactly. Obama says you need to buy my perfect audience thing.
Well, the other reason why the reason why I went with what I did with this one also is because I'm retargeting people that visited the checkout page or the sales page. So I want to show them my product again because they'll recognize it. So I think in this case it might be okay. For lead generation, I think I would be more inclined to agree with you, Josh, because that, but here I'm hoping that they're going to recognize, say, oh yeah, I remember that thing. So.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And are you doing news feed ads as well as?
I'm just doing news feed. Well, I haven't set it up with the new ads yet. Because I want to, and what I'm going to do, here's my strategy for it is essentially, I've segmented my audience really well now, so I've got like segments and perfect audience for everything that, whether I've got a segment for people that just visited the web page, I've got a segment for people that have signed up for like the soft skills email list, for the blogging course email list. I've got a segment for people that have visited the sales page, for people who have gone to the checkout page, and for people who have purchased the workbook for the blogging course. So I've got like all those pieces. Nice. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to target that lowest hanging fruit first. So I'm going to first create ads for people who have begun the checkout process but didn't finish it. Didn't purchase, and then I'm going to create like 8 ads for every single thing, right? And I'm going to use those 2 images I have for now, and just create different copy for each one, try different things, and then I'm going to make it specific to their scenario, without being too creepy, and then I'm going to do that for the cart ones, for the
Your
sales
finger
page.
Hovered over the buy button for 10.1 seconds. What were you waiting for?
I saw that you just drove into your driveway in this car last night, and
but
outside of your house yesterday, I noticed that your lawn was.
Facebook is pretty freaky, though. I've been learning more about, they have arrangements with. Did I talk about this last week? I can't remember. They have arrangements with big data companies, so they know what your mortgage is.
Oh yeah,
they do. Yeah.
They know what your salary is.
Mm-hmm.
Not us, because we're probably off the grid more. But I don't know if they know your credit score yet, but that actually would be pretty sweet if you can get that data.
I think I saw on the Facebook advertising, I thought you could filter by credit.
Yeah, because that used to be one of the things you could do in direct mail.
Mm-hmm.
You could segment your list by credit score. And so you could take out, you could send offers out that normally you'd get eaten alive with all the refunds from people with bad credit scores who are buying it just to take the freebies. But you could cut that bottom part of the list off, take the top part, and actually mail something profitably because you knew that these people weren't going to be the bad customers. You knew they were going to be people that would keep the product and actually use it. So, but yeah, Facebook I have a client of mine who former client who is a real estate agent. I've been trying to convince him to do Facebook advertising forever. And so you can target people who are upper income, within a certain income range, within a certain radius of your office, who Facebook thinks are likely to move within the next 6 months.
Wow, yeah.
How much more? That's got to be a dream come true for real estate agents.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then you can create specifically targeted ads to that. And that's what I'm going to kind of try to do with Perfect Audience, is try to make the ads as specific to the person as I can.
Yep.
And then, so that's my plan, is basically to make specifically targeted ads and to run about 8 ads for every single campaign. It's going to be a whole lot of ads. And then just see which ones are working and drop the ones that aren't working, and then add new ads in and just keep on. Because I think it's really just a game of trial and error and just see what works. And so that's what my plan is. Obviously I don't have a huge amount of data, because when you're retargeting people, you don't have how many people visit the sales page, 1,200 people in a month or so, or even less than that. So it'll take time to build that up enough, but
Well,
But
the nice thing is that you've got, because that's such a targeted list, you're going to have, normally with Facebook ads, like right now I imported my drip list, my marketing list into Facebook, and created so I created a custom list with all the email subscribers. Then I went and I created a lookalike audience. So it's people that Facebook thinks look like your audience.
yeah.
And so that's who I'm trying to reach with my ads right now, is this lookalike audience. And I've narrowed it down to only people who are interested, who look like my subscribers, who are also interested in email marketing.
Yep. Yep.
So it's like a pretty targeted group of people. But with what you've got a nice, like a steady flow. So with with that list of people, my ad's going to fatigue pretty quickly.
Yeah.
Within like a few weeks. But you've got this slow, steady influx of people coming in, and so that could actually work to your advantage. Your ads might not fatigue. I think what's going to happen is you'll get a nice bump initially because you've got this big group of people that you're collecting, and then once they start to see the ad, they'll buy, and then after that it's going to slow down and it'll just be a trickle of people, the new people visiting your. But it'll be a little bit more like AdWords that way, I think.
Yeah,
Instead of like the typical Facebook where it works and then it doesn't.
Well, I mean, every month, I'll be constantly retargeting new people as they come into the audience. So that's the plan. I mean, it should be easy to be profitable there doing the retargeting. So
yeah, I would think so.
So
Facebook or Perfect Audience, they never got back to me about why they didn't approve my site. So.
Gosh, another person I was talking to said that too. Like, I don't know.
Like they just disapproved it and they didn't tell me why, and they never responded, so I'm not going to be using them, I guess.
Huh.
But
that's weird.
Yeah, I mean, I can do my own Facebook. I think that it's better, like, I can do my own lookalike audiences and stuff. I think I can actually do much, much better just by going straight on Facebook myself. And
yeah.
What I was hoping actually was to not, I was actually more interested in them for the banner ads around the web, because that could potentially be a lot cheaper than Facebook, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to deploy those ads as well. Those are extremely cheap.
Yeah.
I'm paying $1 per click on the newsfeed ads on the experimental ad I have running right now. So
okay, that's not. I mean, yeah, that's not great, but it's not bad either. I'm paying like almost 70 cents a click on my newsfeed ad is kicking butt in terms of interaction. It's like 4.5% of people that see it are interacting with it. So.
When I do go to Facebook ads, like full-on Facebook ads, my plan, though, is to take some of my most popular pages, put content upgrades on them, and then promote those.
Yep.
Promote content instead of promoting like a opt-in page or anything, so that's because then I think that's better. I've been seeing a lot of people doing that.
Typically the strategy, like, usually with Facebook, there's like at least a 2-layer strategy where you're targeting new people, and you actually kind of want to pay for like some, like in Perry Marshall's Facebook book, he talks about spending about 20% of your ad budget just to reach new people, get your post in front of them. It's actually kind of a branding thing. Like you're just doing content. You're just pushing content at them, and then you spend 80% of your budget on acquisition, like actually lead conversion ads and that sort of thing. So you kind of widen your circle by pushing content at people, because it is a lot cheaper apparently.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try to find something that works with KingSumo, where ideally I'd like to push a post to them that's not like the clicks, where I'm paying for clicks to my site, but I'm just paying for exposure. But we'll see. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to get into the paid advertising to get that working. Especially I mean, like you're saying, the power of Facebook, like the ability to be so specific in who you target.
Yeah,
allows you.
Pretty scary.
Yeah, and you can create such specific ads, like where they're like, "How the hell did you know that?"
Yeah.
But yeah, there's definitely got to be a way to make it profitable with that just the amount of data that you have. So.
We done?
I think
so.
It's about time for me to go eat some carbs. Every 2 hours, I need to
load up on some sugar.
Man.
Well, no, I'm supposed to like taper off the sugar now, so
Oh,
like
okay.
some waffles,
Waffles.
I think.
Awesome.
Every 2 hours, I'm supposed to eat about 150 grams of carbs. So.
All right. So thoughts for the week? I'll go.
Oh
I guess
wait,
I got.
before we
wait,
do that, one quick thing. Any thoughts, Josh, on the microconf?
Yes, you're going,
Um,
Josh.
I think I'm gonna go. Yeah, I think I will take you up, John, on at least sharing the room. I don't want. I'll split the cost with you.
Oh sure, yeah.
If that's cool. But yeah, I think that would help because I know like I'm going to traffic and conversion in February, and the room's like $250 a night.
Oh, is
So
that
for, like,
is that in
that's in-
San Diego?
Yeah,
Oh, hey, I should sign up for that. Is
it might
open
be.
now?
I don't know. They might have closed it down. They were close to closing it down. So
Okay, I'll have to check in.
yeah, that's a good one. That's
Because
my
I'm going to be in San Diego.
my copywriting coach basically told me that like if I had to go to one, that would be the one. She's going to be there and she's going to introduce me to a bunch of people. So
Nice.
yeah, so that'll have a pretty good. But yeah, I'm kind of thinking. I kind of feel like we might have too many days. Like it's like 3.5. Like basically, I'm going to be gone for like 6 or 7 days, and my wife is pretty cool about it, but she's kind of like that's a long time. So I don't really blame her. Maybe we can figure out a way to shorten it up a little bit or something. But yeah, I think I'll probably be able to go.
Okay.
It's actually a lot for me too. It's also a lot of work days to miss
Yeah.
since I'm still, in consulting mode. That's like 3 or 4. I think at least 3 or 4 weekdays I'd miss.
Cool. Okay. Well, I guess once we get the plans, or once we get the exact, or once the tickets open, then we can at least book tickets and.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to do if I do go, I'd like to do a lightning talk if those are available.
I'm definitely going to submit one as well. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
Do you know how that works? Is it like
You basically you show up to the conference as
Okay.
An attendee, and then you submit your talk. And I don't know how they vote on it or whatever, but you have to actually be there at the conference to submit your lightning talk, I think.
Well, last year they did it. You submitted ahead of time.
Oh,
so,
did you?
Like once you signed up for the conference, you submitted, and then everyone voted on it,
Oh, okay.
and then
I misremembered that then.
they picked the top.
I thought they voted. I thought you submitted once you actually got to the conference.
Dang it! I missed the early bird on the Traffic and Conversion Summit. It was $697. And
Yeah.
now it's $997.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's actually the full price was like I want to say it was like way more.
It's $1997 at the door.
Jeez.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually not that expensive for a marketing conference
Yeah.
either. So-
Except that they're going to be marketing you a lot of stuff. So
oh, that's
I guarantee
factored
they're
in.
going to be every talk is going to be a pitch.
Actually, I mean, the Dan Kennedy Info Marketing Summit that I was thinking of going to was like it was like $1,900 basically, and it's a pitch fest, so.
Yeah. So it's so weird. I talked to this internet marketer guy in when I was at that at the non-job summit, like a real hardcore internet marketer, like an internet marketer guy who markets to internet marketers.
Yeah.
And he was so corrupt. His like value system was so, like the kind of
Yeah.
they were selling at the non-job summit. They did this like multi-level marketing alkaline water crap. And I was just like, gosh, you guys can't do this. Like, there's like young kids here trying to like become entrepreneurs and stuff, and you're selling them multi-level marketing bullshit. Like, this is just wrong, right? So I was like, and he was like, oh, it's not that bad. I mean, multi-level marketing. And I was like, this is so wrong. But it was just funny because just the conversations we had, like the kind of stuff that happens in that industry that's just totally acceptable. Like at a software development conference, if every single speaker pitched something to buy, you'd be like, what? Why did I pay money for this thing, right? But at these, they're just like, he's like, no, everybody pitches every time.
Yeah.
Do all these crazy things.
The funny thing is, if you complain about it to the high-level marketing people, they're like, so you get to sit in the audience and listen to the best people in the world teach you how to sell? by demonstration, and we don't charge you extra for that.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess that's one way. It's a little bit less obnoxious in that context, but
Yeah.
I still I'd still rather. I don't like. I mean, I don't. I think it's fine to pitch something hard at the end of your talk, but I'd rather that your whole talk wasn't like a pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Totally.
it's not like I hate webinars like that where the whole thing is like, it's like building up to this secret that you have to pay $19.97 to find out.
Mm-hmm. All right. So
Okay,
thought
now
for
we
the
can do
week.
it. Yeah, thoughts.
My thought for the week is it's all about the journey, not the destination, and that's just continuously been true in my career and my life. It's focusing on the destination, I think, is really the wrong thing, and I think you're kind of evidence of this, John, in that you got to the point where you made it, you got there, you had everything, and then you're like, now what?
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's really the journey, and even my writing this talk for November is evidence of that. I had my mind focused on this destination of I'm going to write this technical talk, and it's going to be like this. And once I actually sat down and started thinking through it and really trying to put it together, I went in a very different direction to a very different place in the end, but it still fulfilled the promise of my abstract, and it was a much more interesting talk in the end because I allowed myself to take that journey down a different path.
Derek's wife does not like to drive long trips with him. Yes, we've passed that target before.
Yes, I know we're trying to head south to San Antonio, but I want to go north because there's this great restaurant in Kansas, and
That's funny. I guess mine would be so basically like don't be afraid to fail your way to success.
I blogged that this week.
That was perfect.
I actually wrote my email this morning was about that too.
Nice.
I just been
my Wednesday blog post it's just titled Success, and I illustrated it with a mountain of fail and this tiny little success at the top.
I just been hearing from a lot of people lately that have been like giving up or not feeling like they can accomplish their goals, and they don't. It goes back to trusting the process, but essentially like they don't realize that you're going to get there if you just keep on heading. You're gonna. I mean, whatever it is, like you figure out what doesn't work, and then But if you're afraid to figure out what doesn't work, you're never gonna find out what does work. So you just gotta you gotta put on one hat that's I'm planning out what I'm going to do, and then you put on the other hat that is I'm going to do it, and then when you're done doing it, you can check the results and change your steering. Go, okay, so then you come up with a new course, and if you keep on repeating that process, whatever it is you're doing, you will succeed. If you wanted to learn how to do profitable Facebook advertising, you're not just going to hit it out of the park on the first time. You're just going to have to like try something, read up on it, do more, and you'll unless you're totally stupid, you're eventually going to get there, or whatever it is. That's the case.
It's as if you're saying you should focus on the journey. It sounds so familiar. But no, you're absolutely right, and I 100% agree with everything you just said. Fail your way to success because that's how you learn what will be successful.
Exactly. Yeah. And too many people are just afraid to make the mistake. I mean, myself included. Like every time I'm like. Yeah. Trying to do something new, you can get stuck in a rut and try to do the comfortable thing, and imagine that. I mean, other people can do this thing, but you can't. Well, why not? Because these other people have been trying and failing and learning, and you're just like, you just have to realize that you're going to get there as long as you're willing to like make the mistakes to get there. So. All of us building our businesses have made so many mistakes along. I mean, it's been a public knowledge as if people have watched this show from the beginning. They're like, they see the mistakes we've made, but then we keep on moving forward and growing. So
mine is actually it's kind of funny, John. It's actually a little bit of flip side of what you were saying earlier, but don't forget the things that got you where you are.
Yeah.
Like, so I have been sort of thrashing around trying to get away from like kind of the giveaways guy thing, and now I'm kind of going back to it, and I'm just like, screw it. I'm gonna lean into that a little bit more and see how much further that can take me, and try to find a way to make it work with what I want, where I want to go. But I think if I can, I'd like to get to where I'm able to replicate the income I'm getting from that funnel with something else affiliate related, and I think by just doubling down on that, I'll be able to get there. So I've been trying to run away from that, but screw it.
Yeah.
Don't run away from it. You just turn the ship.
Yeah, it's definitely like my biggest. It's my biggest like. It's my best hook. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Like when if I want to do podcast interviews, like I don't have like a really great hook yet for email copywriting. I'm getting there. But that particular thing is so eye-popping that I can get on all kinds of podcasts with it. But it doesn't. I couldn't see how to make it fit with where I wanted to go. But you know what? I'll figure it out.
Yeah, you're like those movie stars that are known for some role.
Yeah, exactly.
No, but I'm so much more dynamic than that.
Yeah.
I can
my
comedy.
my copywriting coach now, her name's Lori Morgan Ferrero, and she had when she got her start, she wore this cowboy hat to all the conferences. She's from California. I'm not sure where the cowboy hat came from, but so she wore this cowboy hat to all the conferences, and she became known. She's like this redhead with the cowboy hat. That was kind of like her visual brand. Right. And then she's like, I don't really want to wear this cowboy hat anymore. So she stopped wearing it, and people were like asking her. She had to they like forced her to go back to wearing this stupid cowboy hat for a long time because she kind of cast herself in that role. But
But
there's pluses and minuses to it.
It goes back to that whole like big fish thing, and like you got to take advantage of what you can. Like people have to know you for a thing before they know you for before you're just a broader celebrity type of status. So there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you get bored of it, but you do what works. I mean, it's the whole thing is like when you find gold, keep digging. Don't dig a different hole, and that's
I think I could honestly possibly get on Entrepreneur on Fire with that.
Yeah, I guarantee you could. Yeah.
And I think like I'll feel better about that if this giveaway that I do now, because I did another one over the summer and I got like another 40,000 signups from that.
Oh, all? Jeez.
Yeah, that's all. And then I've got if I can get a decent result on the one that I'm doing now, I'll feel a lot better. Kind of like I've got some repeated success, and it's not like a one-hit wonder.
Right.
I don't want to run too far over, but I've got a good idea for you, Josh.
Okay.
What if you did this? What if you helped people to do their own giveaway? No, hold on. Hear me out. Right. Okay. So you set up their giveaway for them, right?
Yeah.
Write all the emails, all the copy, and on top of that, you follow it up with a product launch. So when someone wants to do a product launch, you say, no, we're going to start with the giveaway to grow your list, right?
Yeah.
Then we're going to do the launch, and you do the whole enchilada from giveaway to product launch to sales page, everything, and then you charge them a percentage of what they. I mean, you have to be careful. You could charge them a fee plus a percentage, and I mean, the reason why I'm suggesting this is because you would control the front end as well. Because if you can do the giveaway, you can ensure that there's going to be enough customers. Like you're going to make it way more valuable than they would be willing than they realize, because you're going to be able to do that, and then you're going to be doing something that no one else is doing.
I have thought about that, or something similar, or at least offering giveaways as a service. But I just think that I'm not interested in it, because I think people get now one thing I talk about when I go on podcasts to talk about this is I talk about, yes, you get a lower quality of subscriber, and I think people have very unrealistic expectations about what they can do with that type of list, and I don't really want to. I just don't want to go there.
Okay.
I've thought about it long and hard, and it's also like the list itself. is going to vary drastically depending on
The market.
what they're giving away. So so for some markets I might be able to get really good results, but then I don't want to charge someone $20,000, which is what I'd have to charge to do something like that. I don't want to charge them $20,000, and then like there's a big X factor, which is the giveaway even going to go, right?
Yeah.
Like if that completely flops, now they've sunk $20,000 into this and they've got nothing, so. It's like there's risk with them paying me for copywriting, but now this is like a whole nother layer of risk on top of that I can't control.
Well, I mean, just thinking about it, right? I would gamble. I would pay you to run a giveaway for me and gamble, knowing that I might get nothing out of it, but there's a chance that it could be. So, I mean, even if you told me, if you're like, John, look, you might get 0%. I'm guaranteeing nothing here, but just that I'll do my best.
Well, I'll do it for $10,000. We can take that offline. No, actually, we might be able to do something for you, but.
All right. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Wrap it up.
All right. See you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.
One-hit wonder.
Right.
I don't want to run too far over, but I've got a good idea for you, Josh.
Okay.
What if you did this? What if you helped people to do their own giveaway? No, hold on. Hear me out.
Right.
Okay, so you set up their giveaway for them, right?
Yeah.
You write all the emails, all the copy, and on top of that, you follow it up with a product launch. So when someone wants to do a product launch, you say, no, we're going to start with the giveaway to grow your list, right?
Yeah.
Then we're going to do the launch, and you do the whole enchilada from giveaway to product launch to sales page, everything, and then you charge them a percentage of what they. I mean, you have to be careful. You could charge them a fee plus a percentage, and I mean, the reason why I'm suggesting this is because you would control the front end as well. Because if you can do the giveaway, you can ensure that there's going to be enough customers. Like you're going to make it way more valuable than they would be willing than they realize, because you're going to be able to do that, and then you're going to be doing something that no one else is doing.
I have thought about that, or something similar, or at least offering giveaways as a service. But I just think that I'm not interested in it, because I think people get now one thing I talk about when I go on podcasts, I talk about this, is I talk about, yes, you get a lower quality of subscriber, and I think people have very unrealistic expectations about what they can do with that type of list, and I don't really want to. I just don't want to go there.
Okay.
Yeah, I've thought about it long and hard, and it's also like the list itself is going to vary drastically depending on
the market,
what they're giving away. So so for some markets I might be able to get really good results, but then I don't want to charge someone $20,000, which is what I'd have to charge to do something like that. I don't want to charge them $20,000, and then like there's a big X factor, which is the giveaway even going to go, right?
Yeah.
Like if that completely flops, now they've sunk $20,000 into this and they've got nothing, so it's like there's risk with them paying me for copywriting, but now this is like a whole nother layer of risk on top of that I can't control.
Well, I mean, just thinking about it, right? I would gamble. I would pay you to run a giveaway for me and gamble, knowing that I might get nothing out of it, but there's a chance that it could be. So, I mean, even if you told me, if you're like, John, look, you might get 0%. I'm guaranteeing nothing here, but just that I'll do my best.
Well, I'll do it for $10,000. We can take that offline. No, actually, we might be able to do something for you, but.
All right. Same bad time, same bad channel.
Wrap it up.
All right. See you guys later.
See ya.
See ya.